Newspaper show. My name is Brittnie Basat. I'm president and CEO of Chamber South, and this is Live with Brittnie. And today I have a very special guest with me. We have Monica Betancourt. She is the president of the Monica Betancourt Group. Monica, thank you so much for joining us today.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited. Monica and I were chatting before the show, and I'm so excited for you guys to learn all about her and hear her story. So let's get right into it. We're going to start. If you could just tell me a little bit about your professional and personal journey. And I always tell my guests, please throw in a fun fact, because I love learning about fun facts.
So, a fun fact, I didn't start being a realtor until I was in my mid-40s.
Really?
And I guess that's pretty unusual. Most people start earlier. But I was raising a family and working with my husband in his business. And so when he sold the company and retired, I decided this is definitely what I wanted to do. I'm a people person. I like helping people. So it all started then.
So walk me through that. Like, how do we get to the point where you're like in your 40s and just pivoting into a completely different role now?
Completely different role, because I was more on the accounting side. But helping people and being with people and you know, seeing different things every day, that's kind of what I love. And so being in the accounting side of things, I was good at it. Which I don't normally tell people, because then they want you to be the treasurer of organizations. But
be careful.
I'm not good at it anymore, people.
Be careful about that. You'll be a victim of your own success, and you won't be called to be treasurer.
But it wasn't what I enjoyed. You know, I really liked the people part of it. I always enjoyed, all my life, really, helping other people in whatever it was. So when you're a kid and you help somebody with their homework, or if they scrape their knee, or, you know, whatever it was that they needed, and it grew into, like, people used to call me Mother Hen, you know, to tease me when I was in high school. But I just, you know, it's just a natural thing to me. So if somebody needs a recommendation, if somebody needs a favor, if somebody is stuck trying to get something done and I know how to help them, then, you know, that's just like naturally what I like to do. And I love properties and real estate, and I really grew to love Miami in the time that I had lived here. So I just thought that this is something I would really enjoy. And I was right. I do. I enjoy it very much.
So tell me a little about like your personal background. So I know that you're not from here, that you moved here when you were 14, very much like me, but then I made her stop. I was like, don't tell me anything else, because I want to hear it all for the first time with you guys. So tell me a little bit about your personal journey.
So I was born in Bogota, Colombia, as were my parents and all my siblings, except the youngest one. She was born here. And my dad worked for Exxon. So at the time it was known as Esso. So we really lived in different countries as expatriates. You know, when you work for one of those multinational corporations, they relocate you often. And so we lived in several countries in South and Central America, which was a great experience, actually. And as you look back, you realize that now you have friends all over the world. So it was really cool. And when I was 14, Exxon relocated my dad, my parents, here to Miami. And it was a wonderful thing now looking back. Honestly, when we got here, I did not like it, right? Miami was a different place then, and we were very happy. We moved here from Rio de Janeiro in Brazil.
Okay, wow.
We speak Portuguese, which is another advantage of moving around. You know, you learn cultures, you learn languages. It's great. But
and you did all of that before you were 14.
Yes.
Wow, what a formative experience.
It is a very formative experience. And again, like when you look back, it's like amazing, because you understand different cultures, you understand different languages, even different countries that speak the same language. Like in South America, right, every country except Brazil speaks Spanish as their main language. But they're very different in their language, in their cultural norms, and it's great to understand all that. As a realtor, this has been a great advantage to me, with people coming from different countries and even different parts of our country.
Well, it helps you make that personal connection, and that's
100%.
so important when you're trying to help someone and trying to help someone find realize their dreams. And a lot of the times, that's a big goal for someone, is purchasing and owning a home. It's a big dream. It's a big life goal, and so that's not something that's not something that you take lightly. No,
well, buying a home and selling a home is really most people's biggest financial transaction.
Oh, of course, absolutely.
And so it's not just a financial transaction, it's very emotional. Buying and selling a residential property is an emotional transaction. Yeah. And if you can understand all the different parts that go into that, whether they're buying and moving somewhere else within our city, or selling and moving somewhere else within our city, or selling and leaving, which is a trauma in itself, and I personally went through it several times, and so you understand that. And there's different things that it helps to understand the emotions and the family dynamics and the cultural differences of where they came from or where they're going, and to be able to help people with that. I think, this is really good, and I enjoy being able to help.
That's hugely important because I don't think a lot of people talk about the emotional side or the heart side of real estate. And it's a big component of it. Okay, so you moved here when you were 14.
I did.
And what did you want to do? Like, what did you want to be when you were younger? And how has that kind of shaped what you do today? I mean, we talked a little bit about accounting.
You know what? I really don't think I knew what I wanted to be when I was younger, right? So we moved here. Everything was really different. We went to a different school. I was getting adjusted. I liked my schoolmates. I had a good time, but I never really thought of, what do I want to do, when I graduate and go to college and whatever. So when I went to college, I was naturally good with numbers, and so the counselor suggested that I study accounting. Nobody really asked me or told me really that what it entailed and what it would be like. So yeah, I was good at it and I was fine, but it wasn't my passion. Then when I met my husband, he was starting a new business, so that was more interesting. I started the accounting department for him, but it was for a new business and our own business. And
what was the business?
He was an engineer for jet engines.
Wow.
Started in Philadelphia and then moved here to work with Eastern Airlines. And then he left Eastern to start his own company. So he would buy parts from used engines. I think he was one of the first people to do that and have them refurbished at FAA-approved facilities and then resell them, which is what he used to do for Eastern internally. And so it was a pretty exciting time.
It was a great interesting field.
It was a cool business,
wow.
Definitely.
Very cool.
And eventually we bought, our own house, and we bought a couple of investment properties. And that's kind of how I started really realizing that real estate was a thing, like that it was a business. And started in the back of my mind thinking about that. But again, we were raising a family and promoting our own business and working at that. So it wasn't until we sold that business and the kids were a little older that I kind of stopped being a full-time volunteer at the schools and had already sold the business, so didn't have that over me. And I thought, this is really what I want to do. Now, I started when the market turned. So I started in the worst part of real estate.
Really?
I did.
Oh my goodness.
I started I got my license in 2007, but I really started working kind of in 2008.
It's the worst time.
It was.
Good grief. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But what are you passionate about right now? Like, what are you passionate about today? Because you said when you were younger, you didn't really have something that you were so passionate about. And I think now you do. We touched about it a little bit earlier, but what are you passionate about?
To be honest, right now I think my biggest passion, I'm always passionate about helping people. And to that end, I try to help with raising funds for the Baptist Health Network. On the Philanthropic Council of Baptist Health, and I enjoy talking about Baptist and getting people to understand that their donations are helping in so many ways. But also, I'm very passionate about letting people know how much Miami has to offer. We live in an incredible city. And it's just through my work, but also through my life and my experiences here, I have to tell you that I can't imagine myself living anywhere else right now. We have everything. We have cultural, we have medical, top medical. We have sports, we have a diverse community, we have the weather. We have everything. So when people ask, why would you live in Miami, they have to give me a time limit of when to stop.
Yeah, I completely, and that's saying a lot coming from you because you've lived in so many different places, but I completely agree. We moved here from Trinidad, and I absolutely adore Miami, and it has so much to offer. And I think there are times that we really need to be so grateful because we really do live in paradise, and it's incredible how amazing. And like you said, we have everything.
We have everything
to offer here. Everything's available.
It's a little bit of a thing, like, people say we live where you vacation,
yes.
And it sounds sad. But we do.
Yes.
But we do. We live
Absolutely.
here every day, and sometimes we get used to it and we forget that, if you go somewhere else and you go, oh, I'm not seeing the ocean every day. Oh, wait, it's freezing and there's no greenery and palm trees and,
yeah,
diversity and restaurants, and it's amazing.
It's so funny because...
And we have an incredible education system as well.
Miami's top-notch on so many different levels, and it's funny because a few years ago I tried to do this thing. I don't have the time for it anymore, but a few years ago I would... every weekend pretend to be a tourist in Miami. And so I'm like, okay, if like a friend was coming to visit or you were only here for a day, like what would you do or what would you recommend that they do? And so I started doing those things, and I would start visiting some of the things that I think we take for granted or we don't appreciate and trying to see it through that lens. So being a tourist in your own city, even for a day, is a lot of fun because you'll discover some hidden gems that are right here in your backyard and that you're not taking advantage of.
Absolutely. Or that even if we go every day, like Venetian pool, right? My kids used to go to Venetian pool when they were growing up, and I tell my friends and people that come with kids or adults, go to Venetian pool. It's incredible. But we just take it for granted, right? Because we go and we drive by there. It's an incredible place in Coral Gables and things like that we just think they're like, oh, yeah, so we have this, but they're amazing. I agree with you. Being a tourist in your own city is something everybody should do at least once.
I feel like we're doing a commercial for like the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau, but it's true. It is 100% true. And anyone that knows me knows that I'm a big Everglades girl, so I'm always out in the Everglades. I think it's a beautiful, gorgeous ecosystem that is highly underrated. And then when I post pictures of me like exploring in the Everglades and doing things in the Everglades, people are always like, where are you? Where is that? Like, they don't think that I am, 20 minutes out of where you live. And because it's so incredible. It's so, this area, this city, this county is so diverse. And we really need to take advantage of it. We're so off topic.
Being passionate, I know, about what you're doing. Like, you're passionate about the environment and animals and stuff. Being passionate about it is contagious.
It's part of it. Yes, it's part of it. Okay, so let's talk
back
now.
On topic.
Let's get back on topic. So Monica is the president of the Monica Betancourt Group, which is a real estate company, firm.
We're part of Berkshire Hathaway EWM Realty.
Perfect. So tell me, real estate, and like you said, you started right when it was, not probably the best time to start. I cannot believe that's when you started. But now you've been doing it for what, over 20 years? Almost 20 years.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about it. Tell me about, like, what do you guys do? Who do you serve? What makes you different? I feel like we talked about it. Everyone's a realtor,
lot of realtors, right?
COVID created just an army of realtors.
That it did.
But you come with years upon years of experience, a heart for people, I think, 100%. So tell me a little bit about the Monica Betancourt Group.
So we're a small group. It's not my intention to ever have a gigantic group. We work under the brokerage Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, EWM Realty. So EWM was a luxury broker by itself and then became part of Berkshire Hathaway, which gave us a bigger platform to be able to do our thing. But our small team is really very dedicated to customer service. So what we try to do is, like I said, understand the people that we're helping, where they're coming from, their needs, their culture, if it's important to the transition, what they may find important or interesting about the move. And if they're selling, again, where are they going? How can we help? What do you need when you sell the house, and to make your life and the life of your family easier? So we are very hands-on, I think, with our clients, and we get that feedback from them, which is very gratifying. I'm glad that people feel that we care, because we do. And so I know everybody says they care and everything, but truly there's very little that our clients would need within the process of buying and selling that we don't consider it part of our not our job, but our desire
responsibility.
To help. Right.
Yeah,
it's a stressful time. Like I said, it's a big financial transaction, but it's also a very stressful and special time. And so we try to make it smooth and seamless and happy so that they can move forward with whatever their next step in life is. And if there's anything we can do to help them if they're relocating out of Miami, we try to connect them where they're going, and people that are coming as well. I very often am able to connect with people before they come, so we understand what they're doing. We have a couple relocating from out of the country, like right now. Tomorrow I'll be with them, and it's very important to know how they live, where they live, to understand the type of transition that they're going to experience when they come here. So we tour neighborhoods, we tour really a lot of different neighborhoods before they make a decision, if that's what they want, about maybe what areas they would like, before we even get into the specifics of homes or condos that they're going to purchase. And, do they have pets? Do they have children? Do they want urban? Do they want suburbia? All those things are important. So I think we just are very personally involved with the clients.
I think that's really important to have that hands-on experience. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize is something you're saying, connecting connecting them to the community when they arrive, if they're relocating from out of town. That's incredible. That's so huge. I think that's amazing that you're doing that.
It's really important. They need to know where to cut their hair, a few choices for dentists. I mean, you can go on Yelp.
The restaurant scene, the whole nine. Absolutely.
Where's the grocery store?
Exactly. I completely agree. Those are things that I mean, I'll be honest with you, I just never think of, but someone's thinking of them, and the Monica Betancourt group is thinking of them. So definitely reach out. So you're part of EWM, Berkshire Hathaway. And so when you hear that name, right, it definitely, it has a status and a prestige to it. It's luxury homes. But is that the only thing that you deal in? Really?
No. So actually, no. So I would tell you the bulk of our business is luxury real estate, but we do everything. And we have people that are buying their first home, and they have a different price point, and we will help them and find them what they need wherever it may be. Sometimes,
so you are a realtor for everyone.
For everyone.
Good.
Yeah. You know what? It's about helping people.
Right.
That's really our passion.
Good.
And so there's no exclusions. There's no price point that is too low. I hate even using that term. I don't like it when people use that term. It's like, what are you qualified for, and we'll help you.
Absolutely. Okay, good.
That's really our philosophy.
I wanted to make sure that we clarify that, because I do know that people think, EWM, they think Berkshire Hathaway,
right.
They think, oh my gosh.
It is mostly a luxury brokerage, but we do everything. And we do rentals for people that need it, and we do rentals for people's kids when they come out of college, and, whatever. Again, it's just our philosophy at the Monica Betancourt Group is helping them, helping people with their real estate needs, whatever that may be.
Do you want to talk a little bit about some real estate trends? I think people will probably be interested to know. I know the past couple of years have been very interesting in the real estate work.
Yes, they have.
In the residential. So it used to be that, you would, just up until a few months ago, a house would go on the market and it would be under contract in a day, if not sooner.
Right.
Are we still seeing that happen? With several offers above asking?
Right.
It was a wild time.
It was a wild. 2021 was a wild time. It's a little bit calmer.
Okay.
We still have a lot of buyers here in Miami, in Miami-Dade County, in our area, Southeast Florida, really. So prices in the luxury market have come down a little bit, but they're still higher than they were last year, and still higher than they were first quarter of 2021. So we're doing well. The market is stabilizing, so it's not such a seller's market as it was, because there's a little bit more inventory. But that's a good thing, right? So people can find homes and get homes. But we still, as an example, there was a home that we listed in Pinecrest, and it went under contract almost immediately. And then those people had to back out of the contract for different reasons. They were relocating from another country, and it wasn't going to happen. But so we put it back on the market, and within one day we had 3 more offers. So there's still that thing, but not 30, right? But there's still buyers out there for properties, and it takes a little longer. So the people that started in real estate, let's say in 2020 and 2021 was their big, real year. And we laugh about this all the time, because one of our team members, said to me recently, oh, but, I've had this house on the market for 8 days and I don't have an offer. And we were laughing, and they were laughing too. And we said, okay, we were a little warped when you started in 2020, 2021, right? So the house is going to sell. It sold in 3 weeks. That's
normal.
Really fast. No, it's really fast.
What's the average before taking out 2020 and 2021?
Houses could be easily on the market between 2 and 6 months, right? Easily. And some of the super high-end price points could take a year to sell before.
Right.
It just depended on where it was and how well it was priced, and, what kind of buyer really wanted that particular type of house. So now it's taking a month. It's still
incredible.
Incredible.
It's still incredible.
And prices are great. If you look at the prices, you'll realize that historically they're still trending upwards. Yeah. So, and Miami's a great place also for people that want to buy investment properties.
Yes, absolutely.
They want to have residual income and rental income for future years. And we still have very good opportunities for that. So
it's good to know. Okay, so there's still time to get in on this. There's still time to buy. It's a good time to buy.
It is a good time to buy. So people are a little bit worried about the interest rates right now, for example. Oh, the interest rates are so high. Well, historically, if you look over the last 50 years, they're really not that high, right? When I bought our first house with my husband in 1986 or so, the interest rates were 14%. And nobody really thought about it. That's just what it was. That's what you paid. And, we're at 7%, or they say it's going to go to 9%. But here's the deal. You buy your house now because the price of your house is still going to go up, right? If you hold your house for 5-7 years, your price is going to go up. So if the interest rates go down in a year, you refinance, right? If they stay the same, you're good. And
I feel like we've been spoiled.
if they go up, you bought at a good rate.
Yeah, I feel like we've been spoiled. You know, I think that
Right.
the past 10 years have really it's shown a very different market than like the historical past 50 years. And so a lot of people are used to things that are maybe not the norm, and they have to become unused to those things.
Well, the thing is, if you just think about it, you're right. But if you just think about it, interest rates are what they are. So you buy the house that you want. It's time. You're ready to make the purchase. And so you just work with what happens in the future. If they go down, you refinance.
Yeah, you're not stuck.
You're
really.
not stuck with that, right? It's not a forever type of thing.
I want to talk really quickly about Monica and I were chatting a little bit before as well about this. And so you think realtors and you think like the benches with the realtors, and Monica has used innovation and technology in a very unique way to create this platform. Well, going back to, it's about the community, it's about helping people. And so she's created this thing called Park Bench. And I don't really know much about it because I told her to stop telling me anything else. So by all means, let's find out all about Park Bench.
Park Bench is a company, actually. They're Canadian-based. And it's a community, they're community websites. So, for example, what we do is we sponsor our communities. So I'll sponsor South Miami, South Coral Gables. One of my teammates sponsors Pinecrest. Somebody else sponsors North Gables. Somebody sponsors Miami Lakes. The communities that we work in and live in and play in, so we'll sponsor it. So let's just use South Miami as an example. So it's parkbench.com/South Miami.
Okay.
So I will sponsor that website. It's all about getting people within Southeast Florida and always outside of Southeast Florida to learn about certain communities. Obviously, they're going to know that I'm a realtor and I'm sponsoring this, but it's about the community. I will highlight all the businesses and activities and community outreach, whatever is happening within the community, whatever is happening in South Miami, I'm going to highlight it. So I'll start, for example, by doing interviews of the different shops, let's say businesses, local businesses that people may or may not know about. Services that are provided for the residents of South Miami. A freebie is a great one. You know, a lot of people don't even know that freebie exists in all the communities.
Freebie's incredible.
Freebie's incredible.
I love telling people about freebie, but you're right. A lot of people don't know that this
There's
amazing
a lot of people
service.
that don't know that. And so it's great to interview them and highlight it and put it out there, and we put it on the website. And when people look up, let's say, South Miami, this website, Park Bench, will come on. And people think Park Bench, you know, you see the benches with little billboards for the different businesses. So that's a stationary bench, and all you see is that one billboard. Whereas parkbench.com is really a million billboards and a lot of information about the community that you may be considering relocating to, or just are curious about and want to know, what's available, what restaurants can I go to, what shops are there, what interesting things are there, medical, everything. We're going to try and do everything. We literally just launched it, so we're building it up as we go now. So I hope that everybody can get to know that, parkbench.com/whatever city or village in Miami-Dade you're interested in.
I love that. What an incredible resource.
It's
what a fun
great
resource
thing.
too.
It's fun.
If you're looking for things to do in your community.
And we get to know the people in our community because we go and speak to them and find out, different things that are happening that maybe are brand new or we weren't aware of.
If there's somebody that lives or if there's a business owner in that community that wants to connect, can they just reach out to you and say, hey,
they can.
I want to be featured on Park Bench. I want to connect with you and I want to promote my business. Can they do that?
They can, and
Absolutely.
we would love it. So
awesome. Okay,
they
great.
can log on, and there's actually a place where they can say, sign me up for an interview, and they can always call me, right? My number is everywhere online. If you look up Monica Betancourt Realtor, it'll come up. I would love to feature people. And then once we feature them in an interview, they get their own page on the website for free. If they want to post events that they're having or coupons or information, whatever they want to post, we do it for them, and they don't have any cost. The point is to make it easy for small businesses, especially, to promote themselves. So it doesn't cost them any money. It doesn't take a million years for them to do. They don't have to be tech savvy. They just need to tell us what they want to put on there, and it'll be done.
That's amazing. What
It's
an
really
incredible
cool.
resource for our community.
It's really cool.
I hope that our community and that our members and our businesses take advantage of that because that's amazing. Okay, so we're getting ready to wrap up. We've had such a great conversation. I've completely lost track of time. I don't know what's going on, but I know that I do need to wrap up. So it's last question, and I always ask this. What is the best advice that you've ever received, and what advice would you like to leave our audience with today?
So, it's funny because I've thought about this over the years, different times. So my dad, after he retired from Exxon, he was a lobbyist for the Flour Council. And he was a lobbyist for the Colombian Flour Council in D.C. But the California growers and the Ecuadorian growers and the Mexican growers, they were all trying to do the same thing. And I remember one time that he came home and he was like, these people, they don't understand. These people, by the way, were like his brother and somebody else that were growers. And they were mad at him because he had promoted something in D.C. that didn't benefit just the Colombian flour growers. It benefited all the flour growers. And he said, but don't you understand? The more people that buy flowers, the better we all are, right? The better off we all are. It's not, they don't have to buy just Colombian flowers.
Right.
And so that kind of stuck in my mind, but it's also, our broker gave us a book to read one time, and it's about giving. And it's always been my philosophy. Like I said, I like to help people, but you give to give, right, without the expectation of anything coming back. So I think the best advice I got is just give and be generous with your knowledge and your time and your resources, because it makes you feel good and it's great. And eventually it helps the whole community, whether that be your office, your family, your friend circle, whatever. It's just about giving.
Giving back. I absolutely 100% agree. To piggyback off of what your dad said, a rising tide lifts all boats.
There you go.
And we really need to remember that. If you and there really should not be an ulterior motive. It should be because it's the right thing to do.
Correct.
So by all means, give back, be an active participant.
Always give back. Be grateful.
Yeah.
I think being grateful is really important.
We're coming into that season. We're coming into the season of giving and of gratitude. And now I'm like plugging everything, but because we talk about Miami, we talk about what an amazing place this is and all of the amazing organizations. We've got Give Miami Day coming up in about 2 weeks. I think it's
That's
November 16th or 17th or the 15th.
It's next week.
In like 2. Well, I think it's like in 2 weeks.
Like in 2 weeks.
Oh God, everyone's gonna get mad at me because I got Give Miami Day wrong. I think it's the 16th. I want to say it's either the 15th or the 16th. Regardless, Give Miami Day is coming up.
Give Miami Day.
We want to make sure that we're supporting our community because, like we said, a rising tide lifts all boats. Give back. Make sure that you're making that difference. Make sure that you're
None
making
of
that
us
impact.
got here by ourselves.
That's my philosophy, actually, Monica.
None of us got here by ourselves.
That is 100% my philosophy. I feel like whenever I say this, people are going to start rolling their eyes because I say it so much. But my philosophy is no one accomplishes anything alone.
Nope.
And so you need to make sure that you're always continuing to give back and pay it forward.
Absolutely.
So that's great. I've loved this conversation. It's been so much fun.
Me
So
too.
thank you so much for joining us
I'm
today.
really grateful for you and Chamber South. I got to tell you, I'm not plugging Chamber South, but it's been amazing. I love all the activities and the networking and the people. So that's another way that you guys give back, is just helping everybody in the community and the businesses to succeed.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
We love our members, and we love our community, and we love our businesses, and we love you. So thank you so much, Monica, for joining us today. And that's going to wrap up our show today with Miami Community Newspapers. If you are interested in being featured on our show, please reach out to us at chambersouth.com. You can call us at the office, 305-661-1621, or you can email us at info@chambersouth.com. Our shows are filmed at 10 a.m. every Friday, and we'll see you next